Perspective. Everybody has a perspective. But what everybody doesn't understand is that what you perceive isn't absolute for everybody. We live in a situation where people always want to dictate what they believe will be absolute truth, which is fine because it is to you. Because what's life if it's not personal? Yet again, who are you to dictate what another individual believes? It's interesting. We live in a world where everybody wants to be accepted and held to a certain standard, but not put in the work. We, hey, how you doing, Bulldog? We live in a society where everybody feels as if they're entitled to something without even having the title in their name. How you doing, Chris? Because I've been busy. Um, Last couple of days it's been really hectic. Excuse me for the shirt being off, no nipples, but I guess I'm just gonna lay it all bare. Uh-huh. You have individuals that just don't want you to do better. It doesn't matter. It never mattered. When you do what you set your mind to in your personal venture, what we call life and existence, you'll have individuals that will hate the fact that you thought of doing that. I brought that up to say this. What's personal? We can break that down. Personality, individual, accountability. We can do all that. But what really, but what really is perception? I looked at a video from Vsauce. Hey, Vsauce here. Hold on, wait. Hey, Vsauce, that type shit. I saw a video, and we was talking, and he was talking about colors, and it's interesting because if you was blind your whole life, and you was told that, and then miraculously you was told this color is red, how would you know that you're wrong? How could you be right? And what I learned is perception is different. When it comes down to the grand scheme of things, it's the individual's choice and what the individual is exposed to dictate what they express. But what truly hurts is the fact that we have individuals that hold people to a higher standard than they should. I'm not talking about people praising content creators. I'm talking about people discrediting their individual circle. Like, think about it. You got friends who will say something that they peeped about you, and you might have said, yeah, well, maybe you're right. But when they tell your other friend or another friend of yours about it, they be the type B would be like, yo, you don't know what you're talking about. You bugging. We're humans of habit. So if something comes to interrupt that habit, we won't coexist in the same realm which we did. Might have said that wrong. What I'm trying to say is we grow accustomed to certain patterns, whereas the minor interruption with that pattern could cause a snowball effect of disorganization within that certain human mental capacity. For example, from Monday through Friday, they had this 9 to 5 set out. But on Saturday and Sunday, they had the whole day. That was from January to March. Now in April, on the third week of April, they're told that they need to work Saturday and Sunday until May. Now, from January to April, perfect. From April to December, perfect. But from these 2 weeks in between May and June, it throws them off because they're so used to this certain pattern. And that's what we are. We are humans that are susceptible to habits. I just don't really care anymore of really trying to understand individuals. It doesn't matter. Um, it doesn't matter. It doesn't. Why would I put forth an effort to understand others if they don't understand themselves? Why would I try to understand you if you don't try to comprehend your surroundings? But then how could I enrich my environment the best way I can for my own personal self or gain? And that's the society we live in. Perspective. To be honest with you, there is no right or wrong in life. There is no justice. And if it is justice, Richard Pryor said it best, it's just us. That might sound fucked up, but I really want you to understand that it's no justice. If you to say it's justice how we exist in this world, then for you to say that the police and the judicial system has more power than you have over your own being. You're not going to agree to that if you're a self-thinking individual, are you? Am I wrong for being bare-chested, tired, working out, thinking? Am I wrong for harboring all these emotions that I dealt with throughout my 29 years of living, 27 years of adoption? Am I? I could be. But what's wrong with being different to the narrative that others trying to persuade? I'm sorry for boring you all. I just felt like I needed to speak on perception. To me, this was a deep conversation. Sadly, I don't have anybody on the panel. I put the panel in StreamYard and see if anybody join. But if not, I'm going to post on my next off day. Please, in the comment section, speak of perceptions, perspectives, individual occurrences, not too deep, where you felt as if it was no other choice but what you decided. And where you felt you could have been wrong. If you don't want to do that, then put where you knew you was right. Because, spoiler alert, you're right. How could you be wrong when it comes to self-reflection and self-reflecting and self-perception? You can't be wrong if it's dealing within you. But that's the society we live in. Because if A and B don't agree with C, then we're going to decide that it's just not that. That's the way that this world works. And that seems to be the way conversation works. We never have a mutual understanding. It's never a mutual understanding. Don't nobody give a fuck what you got going on. Don't nobody care about you. They don't. And if they do, they'll let you know. Will it be genuine? It's up to you to decide to believe them or not. But then you're wrong for not believing them. There's no one out here to look after you, especially if you're not the only one looking after yourself. This world is fickle, and the people in it are no. This world is stationary, but the people in it is fickle, are fickle. It's up to you to find your own understanding in that. But what I've deemed to understand was, fuck them. I don't care. I don't care. I don't. It ultimately doesn't matter anymore. The whole grand scheme of things, the meaning of life. Hey, how you doing, Marianne? The whole dogma of trying to find purpose. That overall notion doesn't mean anything. Because you're an individual. And what the fuck is life if it's not personal? So if you try to look at a whole grandiose understanding of life and death and shit, you're gonna get tossed inside this salad of nothing but Thousand Island lies and ranch dressing truths. You have to find your own understanding if you deem to look into that and understand it in your own merit and not have anyone say you're wrong. This whole topic is about perceptions. What do you perceive? Do you accept what you see? Do you accept what you understand? It's not a panel for me just to speak. It's a panel for others people to reach out and communicate amongst each other. I just would like to know if anybody have a different perception, a perceptive. Maybe not. It's not wrong having a different or having the same idea, as long as you're making sure it's for yourself and not for anybody else's benefit. Today we worried about everybody else being comfortable, caring about everybody else being happy, but never give a fuck about ourselves because it's a choice. It's a choice. We choose to be happy, right? Let them say it. We choose to go through what we go through, right? Let them say it. But a lot of things are unpredictable that we subconsciously decide to go with emotion from the way we was raised up. That maybe this is just the way it is. Maybe life is just not fair, and that could be true. That could be true. Yet, who are you, just because you're not as where you want to be in life, to dictate other people's happiness? See, that's the situation that we're at. We have individuals that worry about their own perception and what they perceive in life to be the overall grandiose metric of what they want to be in life. You know, I ain't gonna lie, I've been having a lot going on, so I saw that. I ain't tripping. So fuck that shit. Here you go, right here. If this what the fuck you want to see, let me get this shit going. Cause I'm just on some real shit. Cause no, I'm tired of individuals, uh, just being. Gotta lay down for this bitch. My phone gonna die soon, so I'm gonna keep it like that. Nada, they say, hey, perception is based on so many outside and personal experiences, your uprising being a strong factor. But then you have other people believing that if they uprise, they're going against the grain. See, you have other individuals wanting to do what they will want others to do because that's their perception of what needs to be done. But they are afraid of what others perceive of them. How ridiculous that sound is literally how ridiculous it is. You can't make sense out of it. There's nothing else to say about it. It's sad. It's nothing but remedial bullshit that every individual gonna say when they're subconsciously ashamed of what they've done with their time. They're gonna always do their best to get upset and try to make you feel like you are not doing what they should be doing. It's ridiculous how this world is, but that's just the way that society is. Everybody have freedom of expression and everybody have freedom of speech, but no one is free of accountability. You're only free to express how you felt of it. It's ridiculous how this world is, but who are we? It's just funny to see how individuals coexist in it and not coexist in it. Hey, Kara, and oh my God, love that sweet kitty, and I know Mario. I'm getting through that. You know what I'm saying? It just look. I just made this. I didn't. I was supposed to schedule earlier, but lately I just ain't been on it. Been a lot of personal things going on, and I'm not in the position to be trying to make a YouTube page while I'm in the detrimental situation that I'm in. I'm just gonna continue to keep moving forward and hustle and make sure everything works out. You might think she trapped. No, she jumps out of that. She runs through this whole fucking room. I just give her that so she can have some kind of exploration. She'll climb on that gate and jump clean over. This cat is free as all get out. Only thing's not free is she's not going outside. There's a screen on that door, and she is not touching that door. because we made rules. I just can't have her running around the house and all willy nilly when you have certain understandings with the landlord. So that's how that go. Yet then you have other individuals that say that I'm wrong for that. So who are you to dictate how I do things? Anyway, Bliss, nowadays you got a bunch of sheep. They're not sheep. At least sheep know how to buy. These bastards ain't nothing but blocks looking for instructions to be wrote on them. Right up this way, up right this way. Nowadays, it's a bunch of sheep that just want to follow what other people believe. They don't use their freedom of expression. They piggyback off of others and follow the herd. Barely even that. I know I'm trying to move back to Philadelphia because I can't take much more of this nutty farmer, in-law, mother. I don't know. She's a control freak, but I'm not her daughter. Thank God. And that's what goes down. It's always favoritism to the family. But then it's always favoritism to those that benefit them. We live in this world. I could keep saying this world, but where the fuck we at? You can say flat, you can say round. But what's the fucking difference? We're here. It's nothing more, nothing less but what we perceive. You look at NASA and think you know fucking space. You look at National Geographic and think you know the rainforests. You look at the Weather Channel and think you can read the weather. We live in a world where we can just perceive shit that other people say because we were told that maybe they're in a position under this title more knowledgeable than we are. Instead of starting to really question what we know and testing what we know and doing what we know was better for us, maybe then we can coexist as a people because now we're existing other than experiencing. We live in a world of just experiences, not existence. But then who am I? I don't know. I appreciate everybody joining. My ass gonna be going to work tomorrow. I wanted to do a thorough live stream. I share the panel post if anybody want to talk or jump in. If not, it's no biggie because I'm going to record tomorrow, and even though I work tomorrow, I'm gonna record tomorrow, so we can still have an open discussion panel on perception and things like that. But I would really like to know people other ideas of perception, like what they perceive. I've been had a lot going on, Bliss. I'm not that I'm really not the one to talk about shit because I don't give a fuck about nothing. I try not to talk about that. But everybody that know me know what I said is true. So I tend to just you're probably not gonna hear from me for a while, Chris, to be honest. It might be a long time before I really just kind of get back how it was. August, October, and November just ain't my months. Give a fuck about none of that. Just ain't my months. August 30th, my daddy passed away. October 4th, my dad, October 30th, no, August 30th, my daddy died. August, um, hold on, what happened on August? Yeah, August 30th, my daddy died. October 4th, he was born. November 21st, my mother was born. October 30th or 31st, depending on wherever you are, my mother passed away. And in June, my biological mother passed away. So it's really like, I don't really give a fuck about none of this shit, to be honest. I'm just going to continue to move forward until all my goals are accomplished. I can't put too much faith in anybody, individualist. Online, I make my own determinants, but I talk to who I talk to and trust who I trust. Might seem like open and optimistic individual, but I don't give a fuck. And I guess maybe this would be y'all time to understand that. This ain't you to get to understand the content creator. This is you to get to understand the content that's created. I don't care. You see how she put up in her little hole? She did that on her own. That's not closed. And plus, that's a little exercise thing. So she can train to climb up in it. Cause she like scratching it but not climbing up on it. And then she can get into the windows when she want to. But she can't run out because there's screens. She know how to jump on that. But she haven't jumped on top of the refrigerator. With all that being said, that just goes to show that I'm making sure that this cat have exercise. But that also goes to show that apparently a person just knows that the bare minimum is enough. It's nothing wrong. It's just life. And it is what it is. And it forever will be. You have to make sure that what you want to do, you can live and do what you choose to. Because everything in life is not a choice unless you make it one. Be alright. Panel open if anybody want to jump in. I ain't try to get so deep into it. But you know how that go. Excuse me. Lights finna go out for a second. Had to catch the phone before it died on y'all again. Yeah, the cat pretty happy. She really not fucked up. She's a good kitty, and I make sure I take care of her the best I can. I never asked for a fucking cat. When my so-called partner and his girlfriend got the damn cat, it was out of nowhere that night. So blah. But back to the topic at hand. Since we got more people, I'm gonna just say this about like three or four. It's about perception. Why do people perceive what they perceive and dictate that that's an absolute? Why? We never really think about why do you believe such things? Do we care? I mean, do we? I mean, if we don't, then what's the point of asking? We live in a world where a question of someone's character is bastardization other than seeking understanding. It's not fair. It's not right. But that's just the way it is. Nobody cares about what other people going through if it's not going to benefit them or make them look good, or if it's not going to have any facet involving in their life. And I can say in the latter part that's a good thing, because why would you disenfranchise your opportunities or lackluster your whole experiences or shortchange what you're going to experience because of what other people are going through? But I also will raise the fact that why when you try to understand and help others, see, people be believing that helping people or helping individuals is an inconvenience, and it could be if you didn't work on it, or excuse me, helping someone else can be an inconvenience if, excuse me, the individual that's doing the helping hasn't set the proper groundwork where they can help. Help is 100% toxic. Helping anybody in this world is toxic. It's detrimental and it's horrible if it's not a baby. The reason I said that is because if you're not willing to be selfish 95% of the time, how can you be there for the 5% that really need you? When everybody run out of support, who do the hero turn to? You have to look after yourself. You have to make sure that you're as good as you can possibly be. You have to be selfish. So when your friends and family need help, you can be selfless and help them out. But then, does that make sense? If it does, then that's great. But if it doesn't, then why not? What's wrong with being selfish as fuck so you can be as selfless as you want to be, not as selfless as you feel like you have to be? You should never feel like you have to give back. You should only want to, I believe. But then I'm only 29. I'm not all that. I don't have it all figured out. I don't care about everything. But what I do feel is if we don't give ourselves enough credit, we don't. We just sit back and go with the motion. You have to make sure. Excuse me. All right. Let's go right here to a hey boo. Dear Nicole, hey Bulldog, hey Bulldog, hey Tiara, Tyra, whatever you know what I'm saying. Mary Ann, I like you, Mario. You have good topics. Make her think a bit. I try. Hey, Tyra. Oh, Mary Ann, what the fuck is up? Woo, woo, woo. Yes, I agree. He. Hmm. Definitely have to be. You have to be. How the fuck can you help? Excuse me. Hello? All right, I'm finna open it. All right. You all have a great night. I appreciate you all staying. Tomorrow in the morning, I'm going to make sure that I bring it up to y'all. I got something important to do. Please leave in the comments and make discussions, and let's have a conversation about this. But like I said, tomorrow before I go to work, we're gonna finish this. It's all about perception. Make sure what you perceive is what you believe. Stay safe, everybody. Love y'all. Thank y'all so much for joining. Good night.